Hello, Jayhawks, and welcome to today's episode of Run It Back. Happy Monday, the new best day of the week now that Run It Back is on it. And we're back today with everything sports. KU's spring sports are gearing up as we're almost already halfway through the semester, and then we'll head and hit some of the big leagues. Stick around for some student interviews and even a day in my life. All right now on Run It Back. KU men's hoops had a big week after their Houston takedown and trip to Arizona. Luke has all the details on them. And women's basketball just wrapped up their regular season this past week with 2 final games. Gabby is checking them out. Then we're heading downstream with Logan, who's taking a look at our rowing team. KU softball has really hit the bases running, and they're looking to steal some more wins in the Woo Pig Classic this last weekend. Alex will cover that soon. And finally, Johnny is taking us over to the mound in Minnesota, where KU baseball took on the Gophers. First, Luke, shoot us some ball knowledge.
Thanks, Xander. Unfortunately, this is not the kind of ball I want to be talking about today, as the Jayhawks took on Arizona last Saturday in a highly anticipated matchup. The last time these teams matched up, Kansas ended Arizona's undefeated run with a win inside Allen Fieldhouse. However, this time Arizona got the better of the Jayhawks with an 84-61 win. Not a ton of positives came out of the game for Kansas, but there were a few things. The first was Melvin Council played well. He tallied 13 points on 6 for 10 shooting. He also added 4 assists and 2 steals to his stat line. He will need to keep being that guy for the Jayhawks if they hope to make a deep run in the postseason. The other positive to take away from this one is that Darren Peterson played the whole game again, along with the fact that he also played well. He put up 24 points and added 5 rebounds and 3 assists. This was the 3rd game in a row where DP has not come out due to injury concerns. Overall, this wasn't a great game for KU. Here's what Coach Self had to say.
I think we helped them. I thought, they physically dominated this, inside, obviously. That was evident to anybody watching. And then our shot selection was so poor, and we didn't share the ball during that period of time, and we had wrong guys taking guarded shots where you got to play to your strengths, and we didn't do that whatsoever.
The Jayhawks will end the regular season with a game Tuesday against Arizona State and Saturday at home in the Fieldhouse against K-State. Then they will travel to Kansas City for the Big 12 tournament and follow that up with the NCAA tournament. That's it for me today, but we're going to keep things on the court as I pass it over to Gabby with KU women's basketball.
Thanks, Luke. It's been an up and down with the women's team. First, a 68-59 win over Texas Tech, then followed by a tough loss on the road at Oklahoma State on Saturday. But before traveling to Oklahoma, the women were back in Allen Fieldhouse Wednesday night to celebrate an extra special win and highlight seniors on their night. 4 Jayhawks hit it big on Wednesday, scoring in double figures, with score leader Samaya Nichols at 19 points, while also having her career high of 15 free throws. To no surprise, Julia Davis was named Freshman of the Week for the 8th time in a row, while reaching her 2nd Jayhawk career double-double in 12 points and 10 rebounds. Reagan Williams also finished with 10 points to add to the game, and senior Elle Evans hit some threes and brought the energy up in Allen.
At about 15 before they're able to set their offense. Step back 3 for Evans out of nowhere.
After the win at home over Texas Tech, the Jayhawks were not able to keep the energy up on the road, falling 70-56 in Oklahoma. But despite the result, their season isn't over yet as they head to Kansas City to kick off the Women's Big 12 tournament. The women currently sit at 11th in the Big 12 and will take on number 14 UCF at the T-Mobile Center on Wednesday at 8 p.m. But the action doesn't stop there in Kansas athletics. Now from the court to the water, here's Logan with a look into rowing as they started off their spring season Sunday morning in San Diego.
Thanks, Gabby. Exciting times for women's basketball. Like you said, rowing has been making a splash over in San Diego. The 2026 spring season officially opened for the Jayhawks yesterday as they took on UC San Diego at the Chula Vista Elite preseason scrimmage. This is Andrew Derrick's first year as head coach, and back in July he shared his expectations for the season ahead, saying, "Through a lot of grit and a lot of hard work, there are a lot of good things to come. The dedication and the investments in the program was very clear early on. Kansas's commitment to staying strong and supporting student athletes is unique, to say the least. I am incredibly excited to use those resources and give our student athletes an amazing experience, and one of those facets of that is going to be going fast and winning races. I'm very eager to get to work." And it is safe to say they did just that, entering spring with strong momentum after winning first place in the Women's Club 4's race at the head of Charles Regatta in the fall for the third consecutive year. Junior Taya Drennan and freshman Claire Van Matter have made early season waves this spring. On February 9th, both earned finalist spots on the 4 Stars Network watch list for women's rowers and coxswains, highlighting their impact and leadership heading into the competitive season. Rowing now looks to prepare for the Saratoga 2K coming up on March 27th. For more updates on Kansas rowing, follow the team on social media and visit kuathletics.com. While rowing was competing in San Diego, softball was heating things up in the Woo Pig Classic in Arkansas. Alex has more on that.
Thanks, Logan. While rowing competing was on the water, softball was on the road taking on a top team. Kansas softball had a roller coaster weekend in Fayetteville, dominating at the Woo Pig Classic before falling to number 8 Arkansas on the road. The Jayhawks opened the weekend in commanding fashion, scoring a combined 25 runs in 2 games and securing back-to-back run roll victories over Boise State and Charlotte, without playing past 7 innings. Against Boise State, Kansas jumped out early when Ella Boyer launched her 5th home run of the season in the first inning. The offense kept rolling, highlighted by Campbell Bagshaw's first home run of the year, a grand slam, as the Jayhawks built a 10-0 lead. Lila Partridge was steady in the circle, allowing just 2 hits across 5 innings as the Kansas secured the 10-1 run rule win. The momentum carried into the matchup with Charlotte. Kansas had a 6-run second inning sparked by Haley Kripe and Caden Stafford. Anna Souls capped the rally with a 2-run homer to center, flipping the momentum. Bagshaw added her second home run of the day, and the Jayhawks defense stayed locked in to close out a dominant 15-4 victory. Liza Ludwig earned the win in the circle, tossing 3 scoreless innings. But the weekend ended on a tougher note against 8th-ranked Arkansas. The Razorbacks jumped out to a 5-0 lead in the first inning with a solo homer and a 3-run shot, then extended it to 8-0 by the 3rd. Kansas showed some fight in the 4th. Ella Boyle singled, Haley Kripe drove in a run with double, and Caden Stafford and Ava Wallace each added RBI doubles to cut it to 8-3. But Arkansas responded with a 2-run homer and another run in the 5th to seal the 11-3 run rule win. Kansas leaves Fayetteville with 2 dominant wins and 1 loss to a top 10 opponent. Now we'll stay on the diamond. John has the latest on Kansas baseball.
Thank you, Alex. Omaha baseball has slid into Power 5 competition after starting off the season hot with a 5-2 record. The Jayhawks have started their series against the Minnesota Golden Gophers at the home of the Minnesota Vikings, U.S. Bank Stadium on Wednesday. And let me tell you, the Jayhawks walked in to an all-out war. Bats were blasting all week. Wednesday, the game started off slow, going scoreless through the first 2 innings, but then in the 3rd, we saw 2 home runs from Minnesota's Weber Niels and Easton Richter, but Dylan Schlotterbeck responded with a single to left field and sent Cade Baldridge through home to put the Jayhawks on the board. From then on, the action did not disappoint. The Jayhawks and the Gophers traded runs back and forth like Ali versus Frazier on a baseball diamond. When the dust settled, the Jayhawks emerged victorious with an 8-7 battle that came down to the final pitch. However, the war had just begun. The Gophers came back with vengeance in the second battle on Friday. They punished the Jayhawks with a 12-5 loss. Almost instantly, the Gophers sent a ball deep into center field and carried the momentum the whole night. The Jayhawks once again saw no luck on Saturday as they took another harsh beating, this time 3-10 in favor of the Gophers. With the Gophers coming off 2 dominant wins, things looked bleak for the Jayhawks when Sunday rolled around. But the chance to tie the series was all the motivation the Jayhawks needed to come back out and dominate the day. And dominate they did. The Jayhawks traded the first 4 runs back and forth with the Gophers through the first 5 innings. Then the Jayhawks send in 2 more runs in the 6th to extend the lead. But hold on, the Gophers responded immediately with a deep center homer to keep pressure on the Jayhawks. The bats went all quiet on the northern front for the 7th and 8th inning. A 4-3 ball game entering the 9th meant the Jayhawks needed a strong offensive to keep the W out of reach for the Gophers. They did just that with an incredible 4 runs and an incredible defensive finish to finish the war with the Gophers 8-3 and tie the series. It was a true testament to the grit and determination of this Jayhawk squad, and it is just what they needed to roll into their first home game with a win. The Jayhawks look to build off the momentum on Thursday at Hogland versus St. Thomas. You can follow the Jayhawks on all platforms at KU Baseball. Next, we'll take a deep dive into the professional side of the world of sports right after this short break.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, Jayhawks. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed, Jayhawks are telling the world what's near. Victory.
Now, we're heading from one court to the next because Jimmy and Zach are talking about the NBA. Then, if you were here last week, you know the PGA Tour has started up, and this coming week, players are headed to the Sunshine State. Mike is checking out the greens. And finally, a sport I have honestly only seen dads play in a basement or high schoolers play on Game Pigeon. We are looking at darts with Landon. Now, Jimmy and Zach, dribble us some NBA updates.
Well, this NBA season certainly has passed by very quickly as we are headed into March, which means only one more month until the playoffs begin. I'm Zach O'Brien. Joining me today is Jimmy. I know for me, this has been one of the most entertaining regular seasons I've seen in a very long time. From newly formed rivalries in the West to rising young teams in the East. This season has been great. Jimmy, what are your thoughts on the season?
Yeah, I thought it's been a really good season. Oklahoma City started off really good. They started off 24-1 or so to start the season, but they kind of been losing a little bit, mainly due to injuries. Shea was out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. J-Dub missed like a month or two.
He's missed a lot.
Missed a lot. And he's injured again, so.
Yep. But for right now, let's get into a little bit of panic meter real quick for really one certain team. The Golden State Warriors have been struggling as of late, and with Portland and the Clippers slowly clawing their way back into the middle of the West, how worried should Golden State fans be as the playoffs loom closer?
I mean, they just had a pretty brutal loss to the Lakers just on Saturday, lost by like 30. Steph is not supposed to be back for a little while, and the role players, they have their moments, but they just really have.
That's what I was going to say. It seems like this team can't function without Steph Curry on the court. Now, obviously, there are a ton of great teams in the playoffs this year, but at the end of the day, only 2 can make it to the big dance. But there are definitely some interesting teams to look at as we head towards playoffs. 4 teams in particular that we are going to look at and give predictions as to how far they'll make it into the playoffs. First, a surprise out of the East, the young squad, the Charlotte Hornets. How far do you see them going?
They can maybe be 8th seed. I could see it. They're on a 4-game winning streak as of right now, although against pretty weak opponents. But they're right there in that playoffs play-in spot, so I can see them maybe getting into that 8th seed right there.
They have the play-in spot. Right now they're the 10 seed, but the worst case scenario for them is they have to play the Pistons in the first rounds, and I don't see them beating the Pistons in the first round. Right now, just with how young they are, I only see them making it to the first round and not any further.
I mean, it will still be a good experience for them because they're a very young team.
Yes. And also out of the East, we have the Boston Celtics without Jason Tatum. Another kind of surprise, as they were kind of expected to be kind of a middle of the pack team in the East.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing really well. They just got off a win yesterday against Philadelphia. I don't think there was any Joel Embiid, but still, good team in Philadelphia. They're second in the East. Even without Jason Tatum, I think they can maybe make an Eastern Conference run. With Jason Tatum, they're right there with the Thunder and the Spurs.
I mean, former Finals MVP Jaylen Brown is playing at a league MVP level, which definitely helps them out a lot. Now let's head over to the West, where we look at the Houston Rockets, who made a big trade to pick up KD in the offseason, but it hasn't truly paid off.
Yeah, Şengün hasn't really been as great this season as he showed last year. Jabari Smith, top 3 pick, also did not do very well. So, I mean, it's really just been KD, and KD's kind of past his prime at this point.
And really, there's no point guard help there. They're all just, it's basically just a starting five of bigs. So, and then last, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who right now have the 1 seed, but with a ton of competition in the West with the Nuggets, Timberwolves, and Spurs specifically. How far do you see them going?
I mean, they could go as far as the NBA championship like they did last year. Got off a good win against the Nuggets on Friday, so they really can just win that again.
Well, that seems to be all the time we have for NBA Talks. As things start to heat up in the NBA world, let's drive it over to Mike to see whose shots were purest this weekend on the links at the Cognizant Classic.
This last weekend was the Cognizant Classic in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Formerly known as the Honda Classic, this tournament is well known for its infamous bear trap. I know what you're thinking. Bears in Florida? No. It's probably just me on the first tee. But what the bear trap, designed by Jack Nicklaus, really refers to is a series of holes on the back nine of the course that are known to be detrimental to players' scores as they come close to finishing the round. This refers to holes 15, 16, and 17. It's best known for causing players to bogey or even double bogey when their scores matter most, just at the end of the round, and that's exactly what happened this past weekend, specifically on Sunday in the final round. Shane Lowry was leading the tournament by a good 3 strokes throughout Sunday, but the bear trap waited for its moment and it sure got it. Lowry narrowly escaped 15 with a par, but everything went south from there. A double bogey on 16 and 17 didn't just cost him the round, it cost him the tournament. This was quite unexpected out of Lowry. Throughout the first 3 rounds of the tournament, he only shot 1 over on 15 once. The rest of the holes he played on the bear trap all went for par. That alone should have won him the tournament. But even he couldn't avoid the trap, and it took another frontrunner in brutal fashion. Nico Echevarria took home the win, marking this as his 3rd win on the tour. What was his key to winning, you may ask? He shot par through the bear trap. Simple as that. Also, he hit some darts on the green with those irons. Speaking of darts, I hear professional darts is starting to heat up. Good thing Landon's got us covered on that front.
That's right, Mike. Listen up. Did you know that there is a pro sports league that's lighting up arenas all around Europe? And the crazier thing, I bet you haven't even heard of it. Premier League Darts kicked off their season in February, and it's been nothing short of electric. The 16-week season runs from February to May, touring all over Europe, and it's probably the coolest thing you've never seen. Last week wrapped up night 4 of the season in Northern Ireland, and the winner, Stephen Bunting, might have the best walkout in all of sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bullet, Stephen Bunting!
Also known as the Bullet, Stephen Bunting managed to take down the reigning champ Luke Humphries in the quarterfinals, and then later on took down Jan van Veen in the finals. Despite Bunting taking home the dub, Northern Ireland's very own Josh Rock managed a 9-darter, also known as the perfect leg in darts. Just listen to that crowd pop.
One in the Premier League. On fertile 9-dart soil in Belfast, double 12. Yes! Josh Rock in Belfast of all places on his Premier League debut here.
I mean, if that doesn't make you a fan of darts, then I don't know what will. This season continues this Thursday in Cardiff, Wales, so I suggest you hop on the Pro Darts bandwagon before it becomes the most popular sport in the world, but that's just me. We've got a whole lot more coming your way, none of it cooler than darts, but it'll have to do. Don't go anywhere because it's all going down after this quick break.
This is Cecilia. Cecilia goes about her day like everyone else. She gets ready for the day, cleans her dorm, and does her homework. Good job, Cecilia. But even though it doesn't show, Cecilia is not feeling like her best self. She feels like she can't talk to anyone about how she feels, because every college kid is supposed to feel this way. Right? Well, no. Cecilia realizes that she needs to talk to someone, so she goes to the KU Health Center for a Jayhawk check-in. Cecilia feels heard. It's okay to not be okay.
Unfortunately, I was not our lucky charm for the Arizona game when I headed to Tucson this past weekend to check out the KU men's basketball game. Soon, you'll be watching A Day in My Life. Then Jameson and Mia took to the streets for the start of March to get the first takes on March Madness predictions. Finally, we're rolling to bowling, where our crew put our skills to the test at the Alley Wednesday night. For now, let's pass it to a very handsome fella and check out a day in the life in Tucson.
Good morning, RunitBack. It is currently 3:40 a.m. and I'm about to head to the airport to catch a flight to Tucson because we are going to watch the men's basketball game between Kansas and Arizona today. Let's get into a score prediction. I think we're going to win 87-75. If I'm wrong, it's because I'm running on 3 hours of sleep right now, but it doesn't matter because we're running off pure vibes and the power of friendship. We have landed in Tucson, and now we got about 2 hours before game time. It's currently 10:15 a.m. We're gonna go grab an Uber and maybe go explore the city a little bit, you know? Hello, Mr. Robot. All right, we have made it to Arizona. We are finally here. We are in the media seating section. Guys, check out the arena. It's sick. So far, we got about 90 minutes until tip-off, but I think we got a good game. And Anson, what do you think the score is going to be?
There's going to be a lot of action between top 15 opponents. I think this is going to be a good back and forth, but give me the Jayhawks 90-84 in a high-scoring bout.
Had to grab some pregame grub. We got the chicken tenders and fries. All right, here's the view for the game. You can see Kansas out there warming up now. All right, 15 minutes before the game, and it's getting louder. It wasn't very loud at first, but it seems like everybody's showing up now. They got a nice little stripe out going. Well, finally Kansas gets on the board, and ends the 19-0 run.
He's going away.
Game did not go our way. 20-point loss was absolutely brutal, but you know what? At least we get to take cool selfies on the court. Goodbye, Arizona. All right, what's up again, vlog? So the wind is kind of taking my hair at this point, and that's okay. You know what? I still feel beautiful. I did walk 10 minutes in the wrong direction, so now I'm trying to fix that. We're gonna make another 15-minute walk to the hotel, finish up the story. Also, my phone is at 2%, so hopefully I know where I'm going. All right, guys, well, that's gonna do it for me today. It is finally time for me to go to bed because I have been up since 3 a.m., but it was an absolute blast of a day in Tucson, and I would absolutely do it again. But for now, let's send it back to Lawrence, where Jameson and Mia are hitting the streets.
Hey guys, today we're back with another man on the street / man on the bus, potentially. And today we're asking people their March Madness predictions. Let's go.
Can I ask you a question about March Madness? What's your Final Four predictions?
KU, Michigan, Duke, and I'll throw Iowa State in there, sadly.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Hi, guys. We got some March Madness questions for you guys.
I just watch basketball because the players are hot.
Okay, valid.
I don't know. I'll say KU, but that's about it.
Okay.
All right, my Final Four predictions. I'm going to have to go. I want KU to do it this year, but I don't know. I think Villanova, Houston, put UConn in there, and we'll go Duke.
Thank you. Final Four predictions.
I'm looking going to go Big 12 heavy, so I'll say Iowa State. I want to say KU, Duke, and Michigan.
Okay, I like it. Thank you.
What are your Final Four predictions?
Houston, Arizona. I'll put KU in there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Arkansas.
I like it. Thank you.
Right, just KU, Michigan, Arizona, probably Michigan State.
I like it. Thank you.
Do you watch basketball for the vibes?
Oh yeah, I do.
Do you pick teams on colors, or do you actually watch?
I watch, yeah.
Who do you have going all the way for March Madness this year?
Obviously KU.
Amazing. Yes. Thank you.
What are your guys' Final Four predictions this year? No?
Iowa State.
Okay.
Oh.
Jack shit.
She's avoided me so hard. Oh. We've been faced with a lot of rejection recently.
This is really bit character building here.
A hard man on the street.
Oh, no, apparently no one goes to KU and watches basketball. Jameson Mangold, watch basketball. Oh, you watch basketball. Vibes or colors?
Vibes.
Why vibes?
Because I feel like that matters more than the colors. Like, you can get over the colors.
Yeah, right. And who's your favorite KU basketball player?
Flory.
Well, that's sweet. I like that. And who do you think is going to win the national championship this year?
Hopefully KU.
Yeah. Rock chalk.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Questions about March Madness. What are your final four predictions?
In an ideal world, KU would be there. Probably see something. Obviously, Arizona, they're a powerhouse this year. Michigan's doing really well. Feel like they could be upset. Might have a sleeper or something. I don't know who. I hope Wichita State makes it. It goes all the way. You know, I apologize for that. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, that's all for Man on the Street.
Now let's roll it on over to bowling.
Well, that's all we have for bowling today. Unfortunately, the mic cut out for the outro, but stay tuned for the Run It Back Bowling League coming soon. Now let's toss it over to Xander in the studio.
Well, I must say, it definitely seems like playing Wii Bowling paid off for some of us. That's going to wrap up our episode today. We'll catch you back here next week with more sports updates, so don't miss us at 2 p.m. Mondays and watch back our shows on Media Crossroad. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Run It Back.